This point in my life, I am looking for a man that can come in and make my life easier.
If you are single, living in this economy, doing everything for yourself, you a bad bitch. All right?
We need to normalize women saying they want a provider. I am tired of pretending that attraction is purely intellectual.
Living alone is so expensive because my bills are like almost $3,000 a month. That includes absolutely everything. And I am not living above my means. I promise you that I am not.
I'm not gonna lie, in today's economy, if you wanna move out, you either need to have 4 roommates or selfie pics. I'm sorry, but why did no one tell me about the third option?
I want provider man and I'm feminist. You know, I quite often talk that I would like to have man who is more financially responsible in our family, who pays for dates, who pays for rent, etc. Like ideally for my future serious relationship, I see it like that.
Hi, can you stick around for just a second and help this single mom out? Please, please, please. I got some bad news today. This car, her name is Sierra, and she's been so good to me, but she needs a lot of work, and this single mom doesn't have enough money for the work that she needs. But this little silly app has money, so just stick around. You can like it if you want, I don't even care, but just watch it, please, because that's what they care about. They just want people to look at it. They just want people to stick around past that 2 seconds. The more of you that do, the more it'll go out. So just, I'm gonna give you a little PSA though. If you're in a long distance relationship, don't be the only person that drives. Don't be the single mom that drives every time. Because then you're gonna end up in this situation just like I am. With an expired warranty, 1,000 miles expired. I don't want a handout. Just watch the video and maybe this app will do what it's supposed to. But do not be the only commuter in a relationship. Do not do it. Do not do it. Do not do it. Be smarter than I am.
See, how about the message should have been in this video, don't be a single mom, okay? Because then you have bad options. Like she's dealing with some guy who can't drive. Either he doesn't have a car or he's just not gonna commute to her. And it's because she's a older single mommy. So you get what you get, and you got to deal with what you got to deal with. And now she's in this position. Hey, what? Strong and independent, you don't need no man. Slay queen, whatever that means.
This point in my life, I am looking for a man that can come in and make my life easier. And by making my life easier, I mean, yeah, I got to work all day, but when I come home, I got somebody I can chat with and I can laugh with it. And while I'm at work, even though I might be stressed, I'm like, dang, I know when I get off work, they going to have me a glass of wine waiting, or, you know, we're going to have this conversation, or he going to call me throughout the day or send me a text message, let me know, hey, baby, I'm thinking about you. You look good. That's making my life easier. That's making me smile. It don't always got to be a financial thing. You don't always got to give me money, bring me gifts, although nice. And although I'm not going to probably turn it down, but I'm just saying the fact that you're there, that you're providing me some type of guidance, you are covering me in some type of way. You know, you helping me to avoid making some pitfalls that women, we don't think about sometimes. Let's just be real. Women and men don't think a lot. So when I say I want you to make my life easier, I want you to just be there. I want you to be loyal. I want you to be kind. I want you to understand that, you know, everything ain't going to be perfect and nobody is perfect, but together, baby, we going to make this thing happen. So, you know, I want to make your life better too. What can I do for you? What can I bring to you and into the situation? Now, I'm not trying to build no man, but I'm also not saying that you got to be 100%.
Well, I don't have a problem with what she said, except for the wine thing. It sounded like she wanted a husband, or she wanted a wife. I'm sorry. She wanted a wife at first. But everything she said was, that's what a normal relationship should and normally does bring. The unfortunate part is they have to get to a certain age, and you can see the car seat in the back. So this is a single mommy. She has one or two, maybe even three kids by one, two, maybe even three men. So now she wants you to just be there for her, comfort her. Um, yeah, and yeah, she wants you in her corner. Now, they can always say they're not looking for the financial component to the relationship, but every relationship has a financial component to it. So you're not going to be in a relationship with her just comforting her and there's no financial component. And she made it very clear she's not looking to build a guy. Well, sweetheart, if you want a guy to be waiting on you when you get home from work, that's the guy that you're looking for. Because the guy that has something going on, he's not going to be waiting at home for you when you get off work with a glass of wine. That doesn't make any sense.
Living alone is so expensive because my bills are like almost 3K a month. That includes absolutely everything. And I am not living above my means. I promise you that I am not. All of my bills are reasonable. And I'm just like, but everything nowadays is so expensive that is just like, even treating yourself feels like a crime. And I'm so jealous of married people because I'm like, oh my gosh, you have help. Oh my gosh, stay-at-home moms can just stay home and their man can pay all the bills. Like, I want to be a kept woman so bad. I am so tired of paying bills. I'm so tired of stressing. I just want to be back where I was when I was like 23, 24, where I could save money. Everything was cheap. Now that I'm 27, I feel like it's so hard to save because, again, everything is so expensive. And it's hard out here.
Well, I mean, a kept woman, that's going to be out of the question at at that size. Like, you're not getting, maybe she can get a dude to keep her. 27, and she's every bit of 200 pounds. You could see it all in her face. I thought she was like 35 or something like that. But she's 27, blowed out. It's the gym, baby. The gym. You need to get the gym first. I'm not going to say that it's easy to be in the gym. It's definitely not. But a woman's key to success is the gym. Okay? Your body, your face, that is your currency. That's what's going to buy you or pay your way into a man's life who can keep you, like she said that she wanted. Did she not? So if you want somebody to relieve the stress, you gonna have to lose that weight, sweetheart. This applies to men and women. Well, the fitness part for women, you don't have to be balling out of control as a female. All you need to do is make enough money to take care of yourself. And then the man will most likely handle everything else. So if you have money to take care of your hair, your nails, your skin, all the female and feminine things that you need to handle, and you're fit, you will meet a guy who is more than happy. He will be more than happy and willing to take care of you as long as you're cooperating. Being in shape is a part of that cooperation. Despite what people think, a fit guy wants a fit woman. Now they'll bang some biggies.
If you are single, living in this economy, doing everything for yourself, you a bad bitch. All right? Like, gas is high, rent is high. Like, it is hard. Like, it is very, very challenging right now. Like, it is a privilege to get on a plane. Plane tickets are so high. Like, if you are a single mom, doing it by yourself, like you need everybody to be patting themselves on the back right now because wow. And I don't see it changing for the foreseeable future, which is also extremely concerning. So if you put groceries in your refrigerator every week, if you pay your car note, you pay your rent, if you doing all that by yourself, like you need to give yourself some grace and be like incredibly proud of yourself because it is incredibly challenging right now as a single human being living in America.
I notice even a lot of my friends aren't upfront about this. Like, can we stop pretending about what we actually care for?
And some girls can get this. Some girls can't. It's fine. We can be honest about that, but we need to be honest about the fact that some women, they just don't have the face and body card to get that type of treatment. That is reserved for attractive women. It just is. Every woman's not going to get a provider. Even some attractive women, they won't get a provider. It's only a select amount, and those men can select who they want if they want to do that at all. Some of them are not going to want to do it because we still haven't got down to the laws changing. We haven't got down to the laws changing. The laws have to change because as of right now,
it's a shit deal.
It's just not a good deal to get married, to be a provider, because once you take away the woman's ability to work and earn, if at some point you guys ever got a divorce, you're going to have to pay for that. Not only were you paying for her existence and your life, she gets a payout on the way out the door because you gave her what she wanted, which was to be a stay-at-home wife and mother. So now you're going to have to pay her some type of restitution, if you will, because they're going to look at it like you took her out of the workforce. No, she never wanted to be there in the first place. So we got a lot of issues that we need to solve before that can even be a thing again. And see, they don't talk about that part. They just ignore it like it's not like it's not a real thing.
I want provider man and I'm feminist. I quite often talk that I would like to have man who is more financially responsible in our family, who pays for dates, who pays for rent, etc. Like ideally for my future serious relationship, I see it like that. And sometimes there are girls in comments who are like, it's 2024. It's feminism here, Sasha. You want money, you should go work. And I mean, I work, I'm an entrepreneur, I have 2 online projects since 4 years. But what upsets me in this, that for me it's not feminism. Like, I do not agree, it's not feminism. It's again somebody putting woman in a box, not letting her decide what to do with her body and her life. Because I don't know, 60 years ago, they said you should be at home, stay at home mom, just raise some children and cook some dinner, putting in a box. And now in 2024, it's like, what kind of 50-50? You pay for yourself, you go for work, you be strong. What if I don't want to? When will be the time in our history when a woman can decide for herself how she wants to live this life?
Well, this woman, see, this is what I mean by like some women need to understand that they're not pretty enough to get that type of treatment. This woman she's not pretty enough.
How dare you? You have stolen my dreams.
She don't have the body. She's not pretty enough. She's not young enough to get that type of treatment, that provider treatment. That is a very small window. Dudes who looking to be a provider, they want something specific. They're not looking to provide for some woman that's 30. It's just not real. It's not real. Like maybe you could get one at 28, 27, and that's really pushing it. Somebody who can afford, think about it. Let's think about it. If you can afford to have basically a fantasy relationship, because that's what that is. It's a fantasy for them. They get to be a housewife, eventually a housewife and mother, and they never have to work. So you're paying their way through life. That's what's happening here. So that is a fantasy. And some men have the fantasy of doing that, right? Because they want their kids to grow up with a mom or in better condition. They want their kids to grow up in a better condition than they grew up in. Fine. To each his own, right? Some men don't want to do it at all. Cool. If that's what you want to do, as long as you ain't hurt nobody, hey, I have no problem with it. Men who can do that, provide that type of lifestyle, they want something relatively untouched. So you're not going to most likely get a virgin, but the body count has to be under like 3. It has to be under 3. And that's almost disrespectful because think about it. You're the third guy. You're paying more than all the guys before you. Being a provider, the sole provider, you have to pay more than everybody did before you to have access to the woman that you have now. So how many guys do you want to have come before you and sampled the goods? You good with 10 guys? Man, that's insane. 1, 2, really max, and it shouldn't even be that high because if a woman is, if she knows she wants to be in a relationship, her body count shouldn't be high. She should be in relationships. Every person that's been inside her body should have been her boyfriend for at least 1 year. Actually, 2 years. You can't keep a guy for 2 years. 1 year, they, I mean, maybe I'll give a little leeway with 1 year, right? Let's just give a little leeway with 1 year. So 1 year, you couldn't keep him around, and then every year you're switching boyfriends. There's something wrong with you. None of these guys want to lock you down. It's something wrong with you. So that window happens early, right, in life. It doesn't happen later in life. This woman probably has 10 plus bodies, right? And I'm being very generous here, right? She can have less than that. It doesn't matter. The younger option is always going to be the more attractive option. And young women and old women want the same thing. They all want providers. So why would I not provide for the young woman relatively untouched, right? And I can give her all the experiences and I get all the appreciation and admiration.
Because I talked with one very feminist girl here in France. She's kind of like very into community, and she totally understood me, and she told me that modern feminism does not tell that woman should work 100% or woman should be 50-50 on the first date with men 100%. Modern feminism says that woman should decide for herself what she wants. So I decide for myself, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to earn money because I love it and I enjoy it, but I want a man who pays the rent and who is kind of having provider energy, but still wants to be a partner with me. Why I want it? Because I saw it in my family. My mother and father, both entrepreneurs. My mother, super successful, amazing woman, she had a business. My father too, but father business, it was sometimes somehow like bigger. So he was more of a provider of the family, but they were partners and they were equal. And that's what I want for myself, and I find it amazing. So why not? And what do you think, girls? What's feminism for you? Do you think a woman should decide for herself in 2024? And if it's feminism, if she wants provider man?
Only men who can't afford you are going to be upset when you say you want a provider man. Because if that's what you were, you wouldn't be upset. You would be like, oh yeah, of course you would want someone like that. I worked so hard to give this to my family. Like, of course you want a provider man. But if you can't provide that, then you take that all personal. Why do you want a provider man? You just want to, you're a gold digger. You want to sit on your butt all day. You want this. It's always the brokies who are upset that you want a provider man.
Well, see, here's the thing. You don't have to pay nothing. You don't have to do the work. You don't got to be responsible for the money. So you can't get mad at them for pushing back, especially when we're pushing equality. Come on, you can't fight the patriarchy if you're not you want to be a stay-at-home wife and all that stuff. That's the patriarchy. So if we're fighting the patriarchy, we have to fight the patriarchy. which means that you have to work and you have to pitch in and provide. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem with women wanting to be provided for. And I actually think that you should, but it has to be the right woman and the right age. Certain women, you can't get to the end of the line and be like, yeah, well, I had all my fun. Now I want to provide her. That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense whatsoever. You can't be running around the streets till you're 30, 35, and now you want to provide a man. And I don't know how old this woman is. She looks like she's about 27, 28, and that's the age. Now she's at the end of the line, and she's throwing that Hail Mary. She wants to provide. Baby girl, if you ain't found that by like 23, it's probably not gonna happen. That doesn't mean that you can't get a dude who's doing well, but to straight up provide for you, that's a young woman sport that has an expiration date. Maybe even 25. I'll even give you the 25. 28, you're late. 27, you're late. 25 is really pushing it. 23, and the reason why is if the dude is a provider, has a provider mindset, he's most likely thinking about kids. He's most likely thinking about how long it's going to take to get to that point. And that's generally going to be between 3 to 5 years. You're not going to meet some woman within a year. I mean, some people do. I don't think it's a smart idea, and I wouldn't recommend it, nor do it myself. Meet a woman, impregnate her within a year, get married to her within a year. It doesn't, no. You need to wait 3 to 5 years to see who that woman is. Are y'all compatible? Can y'all just hang out, have fun, get along? There's so many things that need to be discovered. Do your families like each other? Do your families like each other? Meaning, does the woman's family like the man? Does the man family likes the woman? Even though that it is crucial, it is critical, because then when you bring kids into the picture, now you have to go to family events, functions, and if there's tension there, then it's just not going to work. So it's so many things that have to be discovered again, and it just takes time. So you do this with a 30-year-old woman, 3 to 5 years in, at 35 they're at geriatric pregnancy, and if you want more than one child, it's just not going to work. You're risking the health of the child, and you're risking the health of the woman. So it makes more sense to get with somebody that's like 21, 22, 23, and then by 27 or 28, she's popping out babies. I'm going to leave it there, guys. If you want to watch the video from the original content creator without my commentary, I'll make sure that I'll have it in the description box below. I always do that just for future reference. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. If you aren't new to the channel, make sure you like this video, and you better turn on your post notifications so you won't miss my future content. All right. Drop me a comment in the comment section. And if I don't see a comment in the comment section, hopefully I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Until then, make sure you guys drink water, hit the gym, take care of yourself. Peace.